Today I'll be running through the top queries, but before I start, let me introduce myself. My name's Sabrina Joseph. I'm the Employee Support Supervisor at Giant for the First Line Support team, and I'll be taking you through today's top query. So if you do have any questions off the back of what I discussed, just drop me a message in the Q&A box at the end of the webinar. Thank you. So here's an overview of what we'll be going through today. We'll be discussing how you log on to the portal, when you'll be paid, where you can find your payslip and how to understand it, how your tax code is determined, what to do if you think your tax code is wrong, how you can claim sick pay, what your holiday entitlement is, how to enter your holiday request on the portal, what the Nest pension scheme is and opting out of this, the SIPP salary sacrifice pension we'll be discussing, and expenses. So logging into your portal, everybody gets a login when you first join with Giant. Once you have this, you just need to enter your username and your password to get into the portal. So you will be asked to complete the two-factor authentication. We do use this to increase security and the safety of your data. So just selecting Remember Me, just this little box here, that will make sure you don't need to keep doing it throughout the day. Like you won't have to keep going through this authentication process multiple times a day each time you log in. Once you've clicked Remember Me, it will remember you for the day, and you will only have to do this once. So each week, AMS they send us a timesheet spreadsheet. So we call it a data exchange file, which is known as a DX file. It's either sent on a Wednesday or Thursday, and it just depends on your payment terms. And we'll payroll the same day we receive the file. So 7-day payment terms or 30-day payment terms is what AMS can provide to workers. It is down to them. They will make the decision and they'll let us know. If you haven't received funds when expected, it could be down to the following reasons. So your timesheet may not be approved by your line manager. And to avoid this, you may want to check with your line manager before the deadline, just to ensure that everything's been done promptly. Checking your payment terms to ensure you're actually due payment. It's important to understand what your payment terms are, whether you're on the 7-day payment terms or the 30-day payment terms. Giant or AMS can let you know once you're set up properly. Your timesheet information may not have been included on the data exchange file that we get. You may not have sight of that, which is understandable. Only we get to see that file. So if you do call in or query to us that you've missed a payment or you're missing a payment, that's when we'll be able to investigate and just find out where the issue lies and when it's going to be due. If you have an outstanding assignment to accept on your portal, you'll know that you have something outstanding because in red writing, it will instruct you what you need to do. If that red writing is still on your portal, something's outstanding, you won't go through payroll. So whether your P45 is outstanding or the new starter declaration is outstanding, it won't go through payroll until it's been entered and completed. The same message will apply if the bank details haven't been updated or even if it's incorrect. So it's really important that you just double check your sort code or account number just before submitting your bank details, because if it's incorrect, it can cause delays there as well. So to find your payslip on the portal, you just want to select the menu button and your data, then select the payslip button, and then you want to make sure you click view payslip. Payslips are available on the portal 24/7. You can view it whenever you need to. You can download all your payslips as well. We do recommend that you do this. Just if you do end your assignment, it's good to have all your payslips with you. This is just a further detailed payslip that you will receive. This is just a little bit more expanded just for the presentation purposes, but an actual payslip is a little bit longer and bigger. So it displays the same information, so company details and your details. Then in the middle of the payslip, you see the pay information. So the units, which is like the number of hours or days you've worked for that week, the rate of pay you're being paid, the gross amounts, and the net amount. Now, the net pay is what it goes into your bank account. The payroll analysis, just at the bottom, it will show your gross tax and NI for this period and year to date. You'll also see the holiday pay that you accrue in that period and year to date. So, how is your tax code determined? They're determined and provided by HMRC at the start of every tax year. They can be updated throughout the year. It just depends on income from all sources and year-to-date earnings. If your assignment with Giant, if you have just started your assignment, sorry, with Giant, it is important for you to send your P45. I understand some of you guys may not have access to it or you may not have it. That's fine. There is something called an employee starter declaration, which you can fill on the portal. It has statement A, B, and C to select from, and you'll just select the applicable statement for yourself. The standard tax code for this year is still 1257L, which means the standard tax-free allowance monthly is 1,048 and weekly it's 242. If your tax code does need to change, we have to wait for a P6, and this is sent in by HMRC via the data system. We can only amend a tax code via this. We can't do it like word of mouth, or if you send us a letter or a screenshot, it has to come from HMRC. If you think that your tax code is wrong after the first few pay slips you've received, you will need to speak to HMRC. So I do highly recommend that you use this link here. Just FYI, this webinar is sent out to everybody. So if you don't get a chance to note this link down now, you can go back and revisit it. The reason why I say this link is really useful is because you may understand why your tax code has changed by logging in. If you don't get the answers that you need by going on this link, then I would say call HMRC on this number. I can understand, there can be a bit of a long wait. Maybe try call them first thing in the morning, just so that you're not waiting too long. So claiming for sick pay, you may have the ability to claim for this if you've been off for more than 3 days. You will need to complete an SC2 form, which is known as a self-certification form. You can fill it out and return it to us on the feedback function of your portal. This is the link where you can actually obtain a copy. If you're off for longer than 7 days, any sort of fit note or medical certificate from your GP would be required in order for us to put you through for statutory sick pay. Now, if you've been off between 1 and 3 days, you won't be eligible for sick pay as these are classed as waiting days and they're not paid as per the government guidelines. So your agency will advise us of your annual leave entitlement for your specific assignment. The minimum is 28 days, as you can see here, and this can change. It all depends on your agency. So if you've been on assignment for a certain amount of time, it's likely that they can uplift it to another percentage, a higher percentage, but again, it's down to the agency to let us know this. You can view your holiday balance on each payslip, as I showed you, or on the holiday function of the portal. The holiday year, it does run from the 1st of January to the 31st of December. We do advise and push and encourage everyone to take annual leave just for health and well-being. Coming from a HR perspective, it's really important to have these days off. However, I do understand some projects, it doesn't allow you to take all of your annual leave. So therefore, what will happen is the remainder of your holiday pot, it will just go over into the next year's holiday pay pot. If your assignment does come to a natural finish and you're a leaver, all that would happen is that you will get your last pay, you'll get all the holiday pay paid out, and then you get your P45. So you can self-serve the holiday pay request on the Giant portal. If you go to your data, just on the left, and then click request holiday pay, you will be able to come on to the holiday pay page, starting with select the assignment. this is a drop down. So those that have multiple assignments or have been with us for a while, you'll see multiple assignments drop down. You just want to make sure you're selecting the right assignment relevant to the holiday pay you are requesting. Then you want to select the correct period ending date that is associated with the annual leave you're trying to take off. And then you want to enter in each box the hours that you are taking. And you'll see everything auto-populate in these boxes here. And once you're happy with everything, just double check everything's right. You just want to click next. Then it will bring you onto the next page where it will ask you for your line manager's email. This is just for admin purposes. We're not going to contact the line manager. It's just for our admin purposes. Once that's entered, you will get your holiday in the next upcoming payroll. So pension, with the Nest Workplace Pension Scheme, you are enrolled 90 days following your first pay, and that's providing you're meeting the right criteria. So the criteria would be that you're still engaged with Giant as of the auto enrollment date, you're earning over £192 a week, you're aged 22 and over, and you're under the state pension age. 5% is contributed by you, and 3% is contributed by Giant. The process of opting in early. So we do get that query quite a lot, and that is something we can do, providing you have sent a message via the feedback section of the portal to request it, and we'll speak to the relevant department to action it for you. And opting out, we would ask if you can wait for your welcome pack to arrive. So once you're opted in, the welcome pack arrives between 5 and 7 days later, and it comes by post. Once you have this, you can call Nest and ask them to opt out of the pension scheme. Once you have opted out, we'll get the stop notification and stop any deductions being made. You can get a refund for what has been deducted only if you opt out within 28 days of receiving the letter. If you don't opt out within 28 days of receiving the letter, you can still opt out well after that, but you just won't get a refund. You can just only seize your account. And the SIPP pension. So you can gain significant tax savings, and this is by contributing into a private pension. You can contribute into a new or existing pension. And if you would like to do this, or if this interests you and you want more information, drop us a message via the feedback section of your portal, and a pension specialist will get in touch with you. And the expenses reversals is another common one that we have. It is in line with the HMRC tax regulations. All expense claims are deemed taxable. All you need to do is request the expenses reversal form from us, and we'll give it to you for you to fill out and send back with the accompanying scanned document. So with every expense that is on that form, you need to support it with like receipts or proof of payments. It could be bank statements if you don't have the receipts. Once we have all of that, you've sent it to us, our expenses team will review it. They will go through a particular process which follows the HMRC guidelines, and that will determine if this expense can have tax relief. Once that's gone through, if it has been authorised, it will be reversed within 2 weeks following the payroll. If there are any issues or if we need more information, we will come back and we will ask. But otherwise, it is a pretty straightforward process. We just recommend that as soon as the expense has appeared on your payslip, just get the form over to us ASAP. Try not to let them build up or pile up, just because it can cause a few delays or it can cause confusion going forward. So getting in contact with us, as you've heard me mention the feedback report. So here's how to send the feedback. So when you're on your portal and you go to the feedback report, you can select add feedback and then fill out the subject and the message. Once you are happy with that, you can send it and a response is made maximum within 24 hours. If you don't want to do that and you want something a bit more quicker, the live chat function is just at the bottom right screen, on the screen, sorry, and you can get more of a quicker response, but it is preference. I mean, there's a current response time of 14 seconds with live chat, so it is totally up to you which one you prefer. So here's a summary of what we went over today. So we spoke about how you would log into your portal. when payment will be, providing you're aware of what payment terms you're on, whether that be 7 days or 30 days, where your payslip's located, how to understand it. Um, we've spoken about your tax code, that it's determined by the P45 or the employee statement you provide. What to do if you think your tax code is still wrong after having a few pay slips with us, claiming for sick pay, holiday entitlement, so what that looks like, how to enter it on your portal, the Nest pension scheme, opting out of Nest and opting in early. We've also mentioned the SIPP salary sacrifice pension and expenses reversals, and lastly, getting in contact with us. So I hope everybody found this webinar really helpful. As mentioned in the beginning, feel free to send us your questions and I'll be able to get through as many as possible before we wrap up the webinar. Thank you.